All right, it is 8:01 p.m. on a Wednesday. And this Wednesday is important because it's our last Wednesday before we've got to be racing on Wednesday the 1st in October against the all-wheel drive team at the Cleetus race. I would like to say we are prepared and ready to do this. We are not at all. So right this second, we still have our fastest loser, big block Chevy, in the car, running and driving. Thought about taking this combo, but I do feel like I'll be doing myself a disservice if we don't run the LS for the Cleetus race on the back of the track, because the LS effortlessly goes faster in a lot of ways, and it's got the power to compete. Let's see, we'll have the Turbo Cummins there, Crazy Horse I won last time, and then I think it's Randy or Manuel's truck, the F-150 that went green, and it's got a twin turbo big block in it now, and it looks like it's a full tube chassis truck now as well, or it's a different truck all entirely. But either way, they're gonna be bringing at least 2 trucks, making some steam to play with us. Hopefully we can play back. So let's start off with nothing, basically. So we took our LS has been down at Mueller's for a minute, and it got some updates. So we want to do kind of like a wellness check on everything, and we got the cylinder walls cleaned up. We're gonna do a new set of rings, new bearings, and we decked the surface down, and we did top fuel hoop receiver grooves right here. And we got our heads. We ended up needing some new exhaust valves. So we got all new exhaust valves in, and we got a new set of hoops in. So we got that taken care of. We did have mini hoops in this previously, but they were sticking out about half as far as they are now. So the head gasket didn't have as much clamp or pinch force as we would have liked, and we were seeing just a little bit more cooling system pressure than I wanted to see, around that 1400-1500 horsepower mark. And when this thing was fresh and new, we were able to make over 18 pretty easily with it. So we just kind of cleaned everything up, and we're switching, we got the receiver groove in there, and we're switching head gasket brands from SCE to Clark. So we got a couple sets of Clarks hanging here that Ryan Mueller got for us, and they are a lot softer than the SCEs. So the SCE is pretty hard. Couldn't really dip my thumbnail if I wanted to, but these, I bet if I tried, we could get it in there. So they do seem softer when you kind of do like the bend test. You hold it out and kind of like see if it'll fall over. They do seem softer, so hopefully that'll help some of our head gasket sealing. I really feel like it will, for sure. So that'll allow us to run this thing at pretty high horsepower again. There's a cricket that I've been hearing, and I just found him. Okay, anyways, that's where we are right this second. Eric came down to help. We're getting ready to start filing rings for the 427, and we're just gonna make it pretty much make it fresh. So should be pretty good. I plan on having this motor in the car for about 6 weeks. This weekend we are planning on doing ice cream cruise. They are doing what they call a small tire warm-up on Friday, and then which you had to buy tickets on the float to get into. So we already pre-registered for that, and we're registered in for their 10,000 to win race on Saturday. Unfortunately, it looks like we'd have to go 430s with the clocks on to win small tire, and I don't think I want to push LS that hard. So there are 4 cars coming that all have been in at range and should do it there. So we'll pretty much be there to just say hello and get a shake or two in, basically. Or we can bail on our buy-ins up there and we can go to Ozark, and they're doing a back of the track race on Saturday. So it's about the same drive for both directions from the shop. If we did Ozark, then we would be doing testing / racing for the type of surface we really need to be working on anyways. And that would give us less changeover to do on Sunday after the event, because Sunday evening we're leaving for Florida, because it takes us 20 something hours to get there. So either go to ICC with a 98% chance of not winning, or go to Ozark where we have a, I'm gonna say better than 50-50 odds to win. Maybe we should do Ozark. I don't know. I guess you'll have to see later this week if we get everything together in time to actually go race this thing on Saturday to kind of like shake it in. Then we'll know. Regardless, if you haven't been keeping up with the social medias for the Cleetus versus, or the Cleetus's all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive race, there is the opportunity for us to test on Tuesday, I think from 1 to 6, $500 per test pass. Ouch. But the way I look at it, that money is going on top of the pot. So let's say everybody, you know, all 32 cars buy in or do at least one test pass. I mean, that's 16,000 more on top of the 20,000 to win pot. That's a big pot. And that's if they only do one pass. And I assume everybody's gonna do one pass, because for a 20,000 or even a 30,000 to win race at that point, almost every racer going to this would pay $500 to enter a race that pays that much money. So other than that, normally, like last time was a free entry 20,000 to win. That's what Cleetus said. He's like, you get a free shot at $20,000. He's like, I don't think $500 for a test pass is unreasonable. And in that thinking, I think he's right. You know, I think that it's pretty reasonable. I mean, I'd pay $500 to win less, to be honest. So I don't think $500 is that astronomical of a price to do, considering that I feel like we got a 20-30% chance of winning that race. So, and that's not terrible odds. I don't feel like. I think that's good enough to gamble. I mean, we're obviously already taking off 4 days from work. We're traveling, you know, 1,300 miles one direction. You know, so we'll probably have like 3,000 miles total in the truck overall on this trip. Between, we are not taking skid mark. We're gonna take the truck. We got our Airbnb that has the Gator exploration canoes and kayaks. So maybe we'll get some footage from doing that again. So that was pretty fun this spring. And it gives us the freedom to go get some good eats, things like that, and not get pulled over in the golf cart, because around Bradenton there's really nothing close enough to even take the golf cart to. That's, yeah. I think the nearest gas station is 5 or 8 miles down the road, so definitely can't do that. So yeah, we're taking the truck, and that's still just a lot of cost, a lot of cost. So help us out, watch our videos, because that's what we're mostly going for, is to hopefully grow our subscriber count and get some viewership up, pump out some entertaining videos, and get some recognition in Kansas City for getting more customers. So that's where I actually saw a return on investment from our spring trip. I got 10 to 15 new customers in the Kansas City area that had no idea we were here, had no idea we dyno tuned cars, and came to us for those services. So thank you for everybody that did do that, and hopefully we can reach some new people. and continue to grow that even more. Give me just one sec here. So for those that don't know, I do provide EFI tuning services on the dyno for customers. And I do offer some performance packages that we do, like this Camaro right here. It's a 2018 8-speed LT1 Camaro. We did full bolt-ons with it. Pumped it up on my dyno. It made like 345 wheel horsepower stock and made 485 with the Texas Speed blower cam in it, and MSD Atomic, bigger K-Tech throttle body, long tube headers, flex fuel sensor. You know, your basic kind of like add-ons for your naturally aspirated LT1 build, with the thoughts of doing Pro Charger down the road. So then we did LT4 fuel system, auxiliary pump, P1X, and pump gas we made 688, and on E85 we're at 813. Stock bottom in. So this kind of stuff we build and tune every day. So if you got a GM truck, Camaro, Corvette, van, whatever, that's our primary focus. We work on LS, Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5 and Gen 5 Plus applications. So just like this beautiful 21 that's sitting here, we did long tubes and flex fuel sensor on it today, and we repaired a bad balancer on a LS3 Corvette this morning. So, you know, that's today. And plus, not to mention the other 3 tunes I did before that one today. So that's why it's 8 p.m. and I'm filming this video to get you guys updated. And now I'm gonna put in a few more hours and get rings filed, get bearing clearances checked, and get the short block together. And with some luck, I'll get a cylinder head on it and we'll check PTV. So if you're asking yourself, why did you put new exhaust valves into your LS heads? Well, they all had a little tweak to them. So either one of the times that I was checking push rods in it and had the adjusters too tight, and either I ran the valves into the cylinder heads or into the pistons on accident and caused it, or if maybe they tapped when we lost that cam dowel pin and the cam bolts came loose at I-29 earlier this year. So somewhere in this, we have tapped the valves and bent them all. So although they passed the vacuum test, once they went into the valve grinder, Mueller was able to find that they had a little wobble to them. So we got that all squared away. So I'm gonna get our Texas Speed sleeved and now receiver grooved block back together, and our Mueller BR7 273 STS heads in the car. We're gonna keep the hydraulic roller camshaft assembly in the car for now. The valves and some of the air labor work on the motor kind of ate up my solid roller funds. So no solid roller love on this motor this time, but maybe over the next 4 to 5 events, she'll earn her keep and we'll be able to update the valve train, because this poor sucker, even though it doesn't make power to 8,500 or 8,000, 8,500, it still sees 8,000, 8,500, because that's what it takes to go fast. It's hard to go fast at just 7,000 RPMs. You know, you take all that rear gear out of it and you just kind of kill your 60 foot and your mid-track stuff and trade off for lower average RPMs, but in the interest of going faster, I'd rather just spin it harder. So, okay, well, we're gonna get started. I may do another video later on this, maybe at the end of the night. I'm a little more beat up, a little more tired, but for now, adios. Okay, it is now Friday at like 8 p.m. Sun is going down, and we just now kind of got this thing to the point of where we're ready to go race. And unfortunately, it is not going to be at Ice Cream Cruise like we had already planned. So sucks to throw all that away, because I'd bought tickets for the crew, myself, entry for tonight's small tire race, entry for tomorrow's 10,000 win small tire race, but it's just not in the cards. So unfortunately, we're not going to go to ICC. We are planning on going to Ozark in Rogersville. It's a little bit closer for us, later start time, a lot less packed. I'm gonna admit, this weekend at ICC there was so many people going that I know how busy it was last year, and this year seemed bigger, and I just didn't feel like there was even room for us to even go. So kind of squeezed myself out of it. So I'm gonna go do a smaller race and use that for testing for the Cleetus race, because that's kind of the most important thing on our docket for this week, is hopefully not losing all-wheel drive again. So what have we done to help benefit ourselves to not lose all-wheel drive? Well, for one, we got the wing on. So we got our wing, it's got our air actuators on it, so it kicks in a little sooner. It moves more than that, but I ran into that bolt because I'm tired and it is what it is. But we got our adjustable wing on there. It changes angle going down the track in order to maximize the most amount of force on the back of the car as it can, especially at low speeds. And then we get to high speeds, it just kind of goes to the angle of attack, takes over everything else. I think we're gonna rock the triple bottles. The really anything in the car that is behind the front axle is technically rear weight. So when you remove your doors, you go lightweight doors, you actually lose more percentage on the butt of the car than what you do in the front. So it's also why zoomies are behind the front axle. So zoom out here. That's why zoomies are here and not here, because we have the option to do them both. Just fabrication time, you know, just trade time and material for time and money. So if we wanted more nose downforce, we could always move those up here and get the same kind of effect. Now, we did start the video with the old switcheroo. What motor's in the car? Nose is stuck. Oh, it's building tension for us on its own. We'll go to the other side. It's less stuck over here. Oh. Wow. It is our Texas Speed 427. She's back and assembled and in the car and ready to go. So we pulled the motor down about 6 weeks ago for a planned upgrade with Ryan Mueller at Mueller Performance. So the motor went down there, kind of got checked out, and we really wanted to get top fuel hoops in it. So we had a mini hoop in the head pushing into a copper gasket against the flat deck surface of the sleeve 427 short block, and it wasn't the best seal. It was working, but we knew that it could handle a lot more if we did a receiver groove and a more pronounced top fuel hoop. So we did that. Also checked out the heads and went ahead and freshened up the short block, new rings, new bearings, just to make it ready for war for the last part of the season here. And since Mueller had already done this set of heads on his programming, we already knew exactly where everything should go to line up, and it matches 3D8 that we talk about every now and then but do nothing with, because it needs a refreshing too, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So, but I got everything here to do that. But old 427 is in. We found a couple things in the valve train during this refresh that I think will help us in top end horsepower and more power overall. So that's exciting. I'm pretty happy about that. And yeah, I think the biggest question right now is how many lines we're going to use. Are we going to use one line like we did last time? Or are we going to use two lines? So to find out, we're going to do this back of the track race tomorrow at Ozark, and we're going to do small tire there. and we'll see how the car does. And we're gonna try the higher horsepower side of things. So we're gonna run both lines on minimal flow, and I was gonna try some restricting stuff to see how that does. So we got some plans. I got some things I want to try, and it's already late, so we're not going to throw it on the dyno to test out some of the stuff. We're just going to go racing and see what happens. I know in the last War in the Woods video, we talked about the ejector a little bit and some issues that happened there, and I was able to kind of get down to the bottom of it this week, and come to find out we had to replace a blade in there due to a backfire that we had in the motor with the big block in New Mexico months ago, and we didn't have a blow-off valve on at the time, and I mean we know we measured a high amount of pressure here, but not enough to blow the burst disc, but there was still a significant amount with everything closed up making power. So that's what hurt us up here to begin with. And when we got the replacement valve, it looks like it may have gotten damaged in shipping, and there was a blim on it, and that blim was causing it to catch. So I got some sandpaper out and spent about an hour kind of working that blim out of it, and right now I can't get it to stick no matter what I try. So fingers crossed, we're all good there, and we can move on. The amount and precision of machining in a sucker is insane. Like, you would think it'd be simple with just this valve that closes and that's it, but they actually have this profiled receiver landing inside of that tube for this profiled valve or blade to sit against. Like, it's pretty cool stuff in there. So looking at that in some good light here without a bunch of dust in our face from War in the Woods at nighttime, we were able to kind of see that and get it all figured out. So that was good. That was cool. Let's see. I think that's about it. We got our 4-link changed for back of the track. We got our Hoosiers on. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I lied. We got Mickey's on. Hoosiers will be on it soon. We just got the Hoosiers mounted up. And then, yeah, we got all of our changes back here ready to rock. We got our percentages set. We got our crank center line sky high. Long travels engaged. Everything's ready to rock. So had to change spring packages, crankshaft height with the hammer adjusters up here. Yeah, change spring loading in the back. Yeah, it's kind of gist of it. So it's taken many days to get all switched from go fast tree side to hopefully go fast backside, and hopefully faster than the other guy. So I think we got to fire it up. That's what we got to do. That's what I do. I'm gonna put my hearing protection on real quick. No pink muffs today. So what you're hearing right now is a relay that turns on my oil accumulator. So before we even go turn the crankshaft over, we've already got oil pressure. We do this with the LS and the big block. And we check our shock mount or shock positions. Our front, this one's no good right now. But the back twos are reading correctly, but the channels are flipped. But anyways, we always check these numbers to make sure we're in the ballpark for the weight we're running and adjust accordingly. So a little pro tip there from me. Anyways, let's fire it up. Let's try again. Sounds like it's got too much cranking fuel in it, because we're going to have to add some airflow with our foot. think I need to mess with the fueling a little bit. She seems just a little rich. Oh well, no big deal. We'll dial it in more tomorrow in the pits. So it'll go full throttle. I know that. That's all that really matters, right? It's got to do a burnout, go full throttle. Idle and drivability don't matter that much right now. Oh, goodness. Let's see. What else I want to check out before I go? I think that's about it. Yeah, I think we're good. We got the old big block over here resting. So it's kind of just tucked in underneath the bench for right now, and I think right now my soft plan is 5 to 6 weeks on the LS. So we went ahead and fogged the cylinders on the big block so we don't get any corrosion in there, and blew all the water out of it and everything. So it's gonna sit there in night land for 5 to 6 weeks. So not quite long enough that I feel like we got to back the rockers off, but you know, just long enough. So I think there's several races we can put this motor into that it's going to benefit our program quite a bit. So that's why we put on all the work to get the switch done. And I like the LS. I mean, I really like it a lot. I really wish we had it in there for Warner Woods last weekend. I know that it has what it takes to run what we ran last weekend and faster. So I think it's pretty cool. Pretty neat motor. I really think that we can get that motor down to very similar ETs as the big block does on slick. I just ran into the pole, my bad. On a slick no prep, I fully believe we can get this motor to run within half a tenth to a tenth, or like the same number as that one. Maybe not the mile per hour, you know, maybe 6 to 8 mile per hour shy, but I think it can hit the ET just because of how easier it accelerates. So, well, I think that's it. I think we're gonna call it a night, and hopefully I can catch the kids before they go to bed. I haven't gotten to see them much this week because of how much I've been at the shop working, and our list for tomorrow isn't too bad before we go. I gotta buy some fittings for the fuel rails on the big block because we haven't had to steal some things from it. Restrictors I'm gonna try. We gotta fill all of our bottles. See, I just put a tune in a truck that's here at the shop. I want to put a hotter tune in the RV. Let's see, we need to pack our display totes, we need to get some fuel, and that's really about it. So hopefully I can come in tomorrow, knock all that out, and we're ready to pull out of the shop around 11 a.m. and make it in time for tomorrow. I like to show up a few hours early. I get a lot less stressed out if I'm there early with plenty of time to kind of go, huh, now what? If we're able to do that, then I feel a whole lot better. So it's when we show up without that kind of buffer zone, and it's just like go, 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 go nonstop, and it just makes it tough on me. So this kind of helps me get my head in the zone and ready to rock and roll. So, okay, well, that's it for right now. Kind of our little update of what our plan is for this weekend. It's gonna be short notice. I mean, I don't think you guys are gonna see us till Saturday or Sunday, and then we'll already have results of how racing went probably online by then. And then after that, we'll be pretty much immediately turning around to load up on Sunday to head down to Florida, because it takes a little over a day to get to Florida. So we're gonna do that, and I'm not looking forward to that drive. It's such a long drive. It's brutal, so brutal. So hopefully we make the trip worth it, and financially it'd be fantastic if we could win it. I mean, that's the goal. The goal is always to win it, but the primary goal is for Team Rear Wheel Drive to win it. And I will share whatever information I need to make that happen, just like I did last time. And you know, as a bonus, if we are the cars to win it for Team Rear Wheel Drive, fantastic, even better. But if we're not, just hopefully our team is the one that wins. So I don't know if we can, I don't know if I can handle, actually I can handle it, but the memes from the all-wheel drive team are pretty funny until they just get repetitive and old and annoying, and then you all know how that goes. You just kind of get tired of seeing them. But as I'll tell you, the rear wheel drive team, if we win, we'll probably be a lot more humble about it, because guess what? It's not once in a lifetime for one of us to win as a rear wheel drive team. As an all-wheel drive guy, y'all win, congratulations. That's probably a once or twice in a lifetime kind of deal for you. Congratulations, enjoy. So, because y'all are slow, and that's okay. You're just fast on the right surface. You're just slow on everything else. So, it's okay. We all have those struggles, you know? That's why I don't do MPK. That's why I don't do big tire. That's why I don't do radial. That's why I don't do NT. Because I know I'm slow. More power to you if you know what you're fast in. All right, over and out. We're going to go racing.